want to Good morning, everyone. Please stand and join us in our opening song, Holy, Holy Way. It is a call and response song.
Well, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Welcome. Good morning again. Welcome to Creative Living Fellowship. My name is Fran Peck, and I will be serving as the Sunday service host today. And hello to our online viewers on Facebook, YouTube, and the CLF website as well. Thank you for joining us this morning. Please make sure you leave a comment and let us know you're here so that we can acknowledge you. If there's anyone here for the first time, please raise your hand, stand, so we can acknowledge you. If you didn't sign the first-time visitor log at the welcome table on your way in, please do so before you leave today. And if you are here for the first time online, please let us know that as well, again, so we can acknowledge you. Creative Living Fellowship is an independent religious science church, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Our deep intention here is to be a community of love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. And we do that through the principles and practices of the science of mind and spirit. The science of mind is a new thought, ancient wisdom teaching that provides us with tools for living our best possible lives. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said that to realize that the law of God is written in your own mind is to make available to you a power which can meet every need. Here's a little bit about our order of service today. Our adjunct practitioner, Elena Larner, facilitated our pre-service meditation today. She is also holding high watch for this service, which means that she is sitting in meditation and prayerful contemplation, holding a space for the perfect unfoldment of this service. Thank you, Elena, for your service. I am also serving as practitioner of the day and will be offering our evocation. That will be followed by our congregational chant, The World. I think we all know it by now, but please sing it with feeling and meaning, and you can be interactive with it. Kirsten Plambeck, today's musical inspiration, will be leading us in the chant. The lyrics will be on the screen. After the chant, I will be back for our reading for the day.
The world is a place of great love for all. The world is a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. The world is a place of great peace. I am a place of great love for all. I am a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, I am a place of great peace. You are a place of great love for all. You are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, you are a place of great peace. We are a place of great love for all. We are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, we are a place of great peace. The world is a place of great peace.
We got that a little out of order, so I ask you to please turn within for prayer. In gratitude, as we breathe into the recognition of this one power, this one presence, this one life, this life that is my life, and it is the life of each of us here. Knowing the spiritual truth, I speak my word of blessing for this service. I speak my word of blessing for each and every person involved in this service. I speak my word of blessing for Creative Living Fellowship, knowing that it is a divine idea in the mind of God. I bless our musical inspiration. I bless the Creative Living Fellowship congregation, knowing that God is right where each and every one of them is. I send special blessings out into the world, anywhere where there is disease or disorder or chaos, just knowing that God is that one love, that one peace, that one power that is right in the midst of everything. And so in gratitude and thanksgiving for this word spoken and for the perfect unfolding of this service and this day, I simply release my word, knowing that it is already done. And I say, thank you, life. Thank you, God. And so it is. Our inspirational reading for the day is Strength to be Free, excerpt from The Inward Journey by Howard Thurman. Give me the strength to be free. Often, to be free means the ability to deal with the realities of one situation so as not to be overcome by them. It is the manifestation of a quality of being and living that results not only from understanding of one situation, but also from wisdom in dealing with it. It takes no strength to give up, to accept shackles of circumstance so that they become shackles of soul, to shrug the shoulders in bland acquiescence. This is easy. But do not congratulate yourself that you have solved anything. In simple language, you have sold out, surrendered, given up. It takes strength to affirm the high prerogative of your spirit. And you will find that if you do, a host of invisible angels will wing to your defense, and the glory of the living God will envelop your surroundings, because in you, he has come into his own.
Everybody falls sometimes. Gotta find the strength to rise from the ashes and make a new beginning. Anyone can feel the ache. Think it's more than you can take, but you are stronger, stronger than you know. Don't you give up now, the sun will soon be shining. Gotta gaze the clouds, find the silver lining. I've seen dreams that move the mountains. Hope it doesn't ever end, even when the sky is falling. I've seen miracles just happen. Silent prayers get answered. Broken hearts become brand new. That's what faith can do. It doesn't matter what you've heard. Impossible is not a word. It's just a reason for someone not to try. Everybody's scared to death when they decide to take that step out on the water, but it'll be alright. Life is so much more than what your eyes are seeing. You will find a way if you keep believing. I've seen dreams that move the mountains. Hope that doesn't ever end, even when the sky is falling. I've seen miracles just happen. Silent prayers get answered. Broken hearts become brand new. That's what faith can do. Overcome the odds. You do have a chance. Even when the world says you can't, it'll tell you that you can. I've seen dreams that move the mountains. Hope that doesn't ever end, even when the sky is falling. I've seen miracles just happen. Silent prayers get answered. Broken hearts become brand new. That's what faith can do. That's what faith can do.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Kirsten Plambeck. So glad to have you back. Thank you, thank you. Let's take a breath together. Good morning, everyone. Let's take another breath together. My mind is sort of racing this morning with so many things. First thing I'll say, as you know, is can you believe this is a new month already? We're in the second month of this brand new year already. This is February already. So what happened to January? I'm not really sure. But February also, I'd like to just remind us all that this is Black History Month. And as Kirsten was singing, for some reason I was having memories of when I was a child. It was called Negro History Month. And my mother was the school librarian, and she decorated all the bulletin boards around the school with pictures and poems and different writings and different things of Black people and the contributions that they've made to our society. And that's what Black History Month recognizes now. The name of it changed back in the 60s to Black History rather than Negro History. And on our website, we have a tribute to Black New Thought ministers and writers who have made contributions to the New Thought and religious science community. So if you want to just take a look at that, and on our Facebook page, it gives you some idea of how many people have been involved in New Thought and in religious science. So that's my commercial for today. But it is a nice time just to remember and to honor and to celebrate as we do. So we are in this new year, as I said. The theme, as you know, is staying the course. The best is yet to come. And how many believe that? How many believe that the best is still yet to come? I see a few hands here. How many are beginning to get excited about it? Because, at the beginning of the year, we're really excited. We're really ready to go. Like the best is yet to come, and rah rah and all that. And we set set all those goals and do all that. And then by February, it's like we sometimes can be lulled back into the old way of being, the old way of handling things, the old way of living our lives. And so that leads me into the topic for the theme, for this month, which is intentional living. Intentional living. Intentional living. When we live with intention, then that keeps us from coming back or falling back into our old ways. That keeps us from lapsing into that comfort zone that is so familiar to us. It keeps us focused on where we want to go, what we want to do, how we want to live our lives. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about throughout the month is intentional living, living with intention, living with a purpose. Living deliberately is what intentional living is all about. And, we set goals at the beginning of the year. We set goals all the time, really, but particularly at the beginning of the year. But when we set goals, we're setting a goal for the future. Goals are for the future, things we want to have happen in the future. Intention is in the present. Intention is in the present moment. When we set our intentions, intention is like a roadmap that leads us to our goals. And so we got the goals out here, things we want to do in the future, but we got to stay with intention in the moment so that we are making sure that we're headed down the right path, that we're headed in the right direction. And so it's really important to really set our intentions always, over and over and over again. Setting intention over and over and over again so that we make sure that we're headed where we want to go. We make sure that we are staying on purpose, because that's what intention does. It helps us to stay on purpose. And so what my topic is today is acting on purpose. And whenever I think about acting on purpose, I remember as a child, when kids play and one may punch another one and then say, "Oh, I made a mistake, I'm sorry." And then the other kid will say, "You did that on purpose." I can remember that with my sisters. But I think of, when we do something on purpose, we're doing it intentionally. We're doing it intentionally, and that's how we want to live our lives, on purpose. And that's what intention does for us. It keeps us on purpose. Ernest Holmes says we can choose how we will live our lives, and and we are aligned with a law that produces what we choose. We can choose how we will live our lives, and there's a law that is aligned with us. That's aligned with us. That is unified with us. That will produce what we choose. And so we are choosing over and over again when we set our intentions, just how we're going to live our lives, just how we're going to move forward. So I'm inviting you to really look at what your goal is, where you want to go, what do you really want? And whenever I ask that question, I teach a class periodically called "What Do You Really Want?" And the thing that we have to keep in mind when we are starting to look at what we really want, it's what we don't want. It's what we don't want, because usually that's what comes up first. When I'm working with people, when I'm talking to people, and I say, "What do you really want?" They start telling me what they don't want. And sometimes we have to get that off the top, what we don't want, the things that we don't want, because that's what comes up when you say, "Well, what do you want?" "Well, I don't want this, and I don't want that." "What do you want for dinner?" "Well, I don't want," and they start enumerating things that they don't want. Kids will do that. Adults will too, of course. But when we get clear about what we want, and I invite you to start looking at what you don't want and just making a list of what you don't want in your life. Just because that clears out the stuff that would block. Just, "I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this." So now that leaves you free to look at, what do I want? What do I want? Do I want better health? Do I want better relationships? Do I want more money, more finances? Do I want better relationships with friends? Do I want a new car? Do I want, whatever the case may be? Do I want to live my best life? Do I want to live my best life? If I do, then what's that look like? So once we start listing and thinking about what I really want, then that's when we get to the place of intention. That's when we get to the place of, okay, so this is what I want. How do I get there? That's when we start to lay out the roadmap of intentions. How do I get there? And what we have to do is start to set daily intentions. Because if we set an intention, I want to lose weight, and that's all we say about it, it's a goal, because that's a goal that's out in the future. Now, what are my intentions with regard to that? If we don't set those intentions daily, it becomes a goal. If we don't set those intentions daily, it becomes a goal. And the same thing with health. I just use the idea about losing weight because that's one of my favorite things that I've been setting goals for years. But but you know what? This past year, I started setting intentions with regard to it. And as a result, I started to release and release and release the weight. I started to release and release and release the weight. And that's true with anything. Whatever comes up for you, one of the places that it comes up frequently is in envisioning. What must I release? Because visioning is practice of personal transformation. So even if you're visioning for Creative Living Fellowship, if you're visioning for your life's purpose, if you're visioning for whatever organization or group or whatever it may be, when the question comes up, what must I release? That the answer is what you must release. And so for many people, I've heard in our community, what comes up first is clutter. What must I release? Clutter. And we often think of clutter as being physical clutter, but there's mental clutter, there's emotional clutter, there's spiritual clutter, there's all kinds of clutter. So what must I release? What must I release? Then setting our intention to start right where we are and looking at, okay, what am I going to do today that's consistent with what this goal of releasing clutter is? What am I going to do right here and right now that is consistent with whatever it is that goal is? If I'm going to release weight, what am I going to do right now? What am I going to do today? And so setting my intentions for the day, if you would start to set your intentions every day in the morning, let that be the first thing you do in the morning, is that, it's a part of your spiritual practice. What are my intentions for this day? Looking at what your schedule is that day. What are my intentions for this meeting? What are my intentions for this doctor's appointment? What are my intentions for whatever the case may be? Whatever it is, what's my intentions for this? And then we will start to act consistently with our intention, because intention drives behavior. Intention drives behavior. Intention drives behavior. And once we set our intention, we will act according to that, whether that intention was set consciously or unconsciously. And what we want to do is to set our intention consciously so that then our behavior is conscious. But if we don't set an intention consciously, we fall back into that old way of being, of following what's happening in the world, of following what everybody else is doing, of following what the race conscious belief is, of following what the race conscious response is. And we don't want to do that. We want to be, this is what intentional living is all about. This is what intentional living is all about. This is what intentional living is all about. And so to go back to my personal story and journey with this weight loss thing, for years and years and years and more years, I've dealt with setting that as a goal at the beginning of the year. And then last year, 2023, in February 10th, as a matter of fact, I set it as a goal, and then I had intention around it. I had intentions, and I followed those intentions throughout the year. And here we are, February 4th, and I am really pleased with the way that things have gone, because I have really released, not all the weight that I wanted to release, but I've released weight, and I've released those things because I was aware of my intention every day, and my intention guided my behavior. If I thought, well, maybe I'll have one of these, it's like, no, I'm not going to have that. that didn't make me feel deprived. It made me feel powerful because I had the opportunity to choose what I was going to have. I had the I made the decision, no, I'm not going to have that. I'll have it later. I'll have it another time, or whatever the case may be. And that can be true with anything that you have, that you're faced with, anything that you're thinking of, anything that you're setting a goal for, anything that you want to accomplish. If 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 you decide that you want to live your best life, what does that mean? If you decide that what I really want is to be happy, what does that mean? And then what steps can I take today that will make me feel happy? Despite any circumstances, despite what other people may think, despite what other situations may be going on, what can make me feel happy today? What can make me feel happy right now? Yes, there's this issue. Yes, there's that problem. Yes, there's that situation. Yes, there's that health issue. Yes, I don't have as much money as I want, or whatever the case may be. But what can make me feel happy right now? And then when we set our intention to feel happy throughout this day, then we will start to engage in behaviors that will help us to experience that feeling of happiness. When we set our intention to be healthy, we'll start to make different choices in each and every moment of each and every day. Is this consistent with good health? Is my going to bed at 1 o'clock and getting up at 3 consistent with good health? Is that consistent with good health, good self-care? And when we cannot answer those questions in the affirmative, then we're not acting on purpose. We're not acting on purpose. Anytime that our actions are out of alignment with what our intention is, we're not acting on purpose. We're not acting on purpose. So what this requires is for us to be in the moment, each and every moment of each and every day. We have to be aware of what it is we want. I want to get from here to New York. I'll say New York. And I need to go this way and go this way and turn here, take that highway, do whatever the case may be, following that roadmap to get me there. If I don't know, I've not really set my intention, then I don't have a roadmap. I'll get in all kinds of places. I'll end up everywhere because I don't know exactly where I'm going. I had that experience a couple of weeks ago for my birthday. I was coming from one place trying to get from I think it was Pima Road over to Frank Lloyd Wright in Scottsdale, and Siri wasn't helping me. After I asked her, how do I get there? She said, getting directions for it, and then she didn't say another word. So at any rate, I got off the freeway, and when I got over there, I turned the wrong way. And then I kept going through this roundabouts. And then I would drive another way, and then I kept going through this roundabout. Then I would drive another way, then I kept going. And I kept ending up on the same street. And then I would turn a different way on that street, and I'd drive a while, and then I look up, and I was on the same street again. And what I did when I realized that I was caught up in a loop, and I wasn't quite sure how to get out of it because I kept looping around, and when I looked up, I was on Rain Tree Road again. I decided that, well, I set my intention to not be upset about this. I set my intention to not be frustrated about this because I knew that once I got into frustration, once I got into upset, once I got into anger or whatever the case may be, or blaming myself or whatever, all kinds of things could happen because I could then attract all kinds of things to me. So every time I got on Rain Tree Road, I laughed. And I said, I feel like I'm in a nightmare because I don't care which way I turn. I'll drive for a while, and then I look up, and there's Rain Tree Road again. And then I did that for a while, and I just laughed for a while. So if anybody was following me, they would have thought that I was probably not well because I was just driving and laughing. And then I'd go somewhere and I'd drive for a long time, and I see a street that I recognize. It's like, yes. And then I'd drive on in and realize I was going the wrong way. And then I'd turn around and I'd come back, and there was Rain Tree Road again. And this happened for a long time. It happened for a long time. But I didn't have the roadmap because Siri wasn't any help to me that, that day. But the roadmap for how I was feeling, the roadmap for feeling happy regardless of what had happened, regardless of what was going on, was because I had set my intention. I had set my intention not to be upset about this. I had set my intention that one thing I know for sure, I'm not lost. It's daytime. I'm not out on a deserted road someplace. I set my intention to feel happy and to be okay with this, knowing that I'm going to get out of it and to be okay and not be frustrated about it. Now that may sound like a little thing, but it was a big thing because I was out there for 2 hours and I drove around and round and round for 2 hours. And I was like, okay. And it really, this was just before Groundhog Day, and it really felt like it had come early this year. But I laughed and I listened to the radio and just drove around and laughed every time I saw Rain Tree Road and said, "Ha, there it is again." So I knew that I was out somewhere by the Scottsdale Airport, but what can you say? Except, this is the way this is now. I know that I'm moving out of this. I'm moving through this. I'm moving through this with ease. I'm moving through this with flow. And I kept saying to God, you know where I am. And I know that God knew where I was, and that I was in the middle, if God was in the midst of everything that was going on. Apparently I wasn't listening because I wasn't following I wasn't following whatever path that was for me to get out of this roundabout thing that I kept getting into and ending up on Rain Tree Road. But the point that I'm making is I set my intention for how I was going to deal with that situation. And eventually I did get to where I knew I got to Cactus, and I knew that, I know which way to go on Cactus. And once I got to Cactus, I knew where I was, and I knew how to get where I was going, how to get home from there, despite Siri not helping me at all. But you know what? That was such a lesson for me. And as I was driving, I was thinking, you know what? This is a metaphor for something. And I've been still working through what that was a metaphor for. And so many things came up, so many aha moments I had in that time. But the point that I'm making is the intention was not to be frustrated. The intention that I said was not to be upset. The intention that I said was just be with this. Just be with this and move through this. And that may sound like a small thing. That may sound like something that's kind of silly, but people who don't get lost might think it's silly, but people who do know that, wow, I was really lost. But at any rate, the point is that I've moved through that. I moved through that, and I've been having so many eye-opening situations since then. I've been having so many aha moments since then, like, oh yes, it was like that opened a door for me. Just going around in circles, it opened a door for me to recognize and to ask the question, where am I going around in circles in my life? You know, where am I doing this in other areas of my life? Because as I said, surely this is a metaphor for something. But my intention was to move through it, to get whatever lessons there were in that for me. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Look at where is it that you want to go? That's your goal. Where is it that you want to go? Where is it that you want to get to? And then set your intentions. What are the intentions that you're going to use to get to where you want to go? Making those small intentions, making those daily intentions. When you wake up in the morning, what is your intention for the day? If your intention for today is to really feel good all day, to really have a better day than you had yesterday, or to have the best day ever, how can you accomplish that? What would be your intention for that? Well, I guess the goal would be to have the best day ever, and then the intention would be, how do I do that? How do I do that in this moment? How do I make this situation a part of my best day ever? And that's how we have to move through intentions and do intentional living. When we are interacting with people, I have an appointment that I go to on a reasonably regular basis, and there's a person who works there who is usually unpleasant when I get there. And so there was a time when I would go and I'd be really tense by the time I got there, because when I left home, I knew she was going to be unpleasant and I knew I was going to have to deal with whatever. So I was I was armored for that. I had on that suit of armor when I left home, so that when I got there, then I'd already be ready for her attitude when I got there. And I decided a couple of times, a couple of appointments ago, that I wasn't going to go through that any longer. I was going to be me, and I was going to be happy, and I was going to be open, and I was going to be free as I walked in there without being concerned about what her attitude was going to be. Well, I set that intention before I left home, and when I got there, she wasn't there that day. So, so, so I thought, oh, okay, that works. And I didn't know whether she was no longer working there or whatever the case may be. Well, when I went the last time, I just decided that before I left home, regardless, I'm not going to change my attitude. I'm not going to change my mood. I'm going to have a good experience regardless, because I decided this is the way that I want this day to go for me. And so when I got there, as soon as I opened the door, she greeted me with a smile. I'd never seen her smile before. She greeted me with a smile, and she talked, and she said hello. And I kept wanting to look around to see, was there somebody behind me? To see, did she realize she was talking to me? And I just took a deep breath, and I engaged with her. I interacted with her. And it was like we were long lost friends. And I thought, you know what? That was about me. That was about me changing my expectations. That was about me changing my expectancy, or my expectation of disharmony into an expectancy of good. That's what I'm trying to say. My intention to experience that good that could come. And so the interaction was really good. My appointment there turned out to be really great, all because I just had set my intention before I left home that this is going to be a good experience for me today. And it was a good experience for me today. You can set your intention before you leave home of what your experience on the road would be, on what the traffic's going to be like. This is going to be easy. And the reading, the strength to be free, when we recognize what freedom feels like, when we recognize what freedom looks like, when we recognize what freedom means to each one of us, then we get a chance to experience that freedom. It takes courage sometimes, in addition to strength, to be free. But if you really want to be free, if you really want to have the best life ever, then getting in your car and not having to deal with the construction. And if there is construction, not have to be caught up in frustration. And if there is traffic, not being caught up in frustration and whatever negativity there goes. So just setting your intention to be free of negative thoughts, free of negative situations, free of negative people. Just setting your intention as you go through each day, as you start each day. Today I'm going to be free of negative thoughts. I'm going to free myself of negative intention. I'm free myself of negative situations. And when they come up, we can just breeze right through them because we're not going to be a part of it. We can make that decision ourselves. And when we make that decision ourselves, that's setting up, putting us in that place of that roadmap that's leading us to freedom that day, to ease and flow that day, to love and light that day, to the best life ever that day. Because each day is a day unto itself. Each day is a life unto itself. And so when we decide how we are going to experience that day, when we decide how we are going to how we want to experience that day, and then setting our intention to experience that, then our behavior will follow. Our behavior will follow. Our behavior will follow. We don't have to respond when somebody's acting negatively toward us. We don't have to be judging. We don't have to be blaming. We don't have to be guilty. We don't have to do any of those things. But I'm inviting you, really look at your intention each and every moment in each and every day this week coming up. Look at what is your intention, and how can you live intentionally despite circumstances, despite situations. How can you live intentionally? How can you live intentionally? How can you just take a deep breath and choose how you're going to live? Choose how you're going to live. Remember what Louise Hay always said, is that the point of power is in the present moment. The point of power is in the present moment. The point of power is in the present moment. So You may not have been able to do anything about it yesterday. You may not be able to do anything about it later on, but right this moment, the point of power is right now. What can I do right here and right now? What can I do right here and right now to make this my best day ever? What can I do right here and right now to free me up? What can I do right here and right now to give me the motivation that I need to accomplish some of the things I want to accomplish? What can I do right here, right now to help me release the clutter? What can I do right here and right now to help me release the negative thoughts and the negative people? What can I do right here, right now? And that's what intention does. It keeps us focused on what it is we want. It keeps us focused on, okay, what do I do right now? How can I change right now? What can I do right now? This is what intentional living is all about. Intentional living gives us the opportunity to have a profound impact on our lives, profound impact on the way our lives are going, profound impact on our choices. And so that's what I'm inviting you to do, to really, really, really consider intentional living. And that means moment by moment by moment by moment, we're living intentionally. We're acting on purpose. And anything that we are doing that's not on purpose gives us when we are present, it gives us an opportunity to come back to our center, come back to that guidance and that direction that is always with us, come back to that place of ease and flow, and stay on purpose, stay on purpose, stay on purpose, stay on purpose. That's what intention does for us. So I invite you to try it this week. Let's take a breath and turn within. And so just moving into that place of center, that place of just knowing and sensing and feeling the presence of God right here, right now. Just knowing that that power and that presence, that is the only power and presence, is my very life and the life of each of us here this day. It's the life of everything, everything, in the midst of everything. In the midst of everything, there's no spot where God is not. And so knowing this truth, I speak the word for each of us this day. Just speaking a word of wholeness, and knowing that wholeness is revealing itself, we are experiencing it as a result of our intention to experience the wholeness. And we each set our intention this day to experience the wholeness, the goodness of God, the fullness of God, the joy, the peace, the harmony, the love, the balance, the abundance, the prosperity. All the gifts of the Spirit we get to experience when we set our intention to experience. And as we do that, all is released that is unlike it. All is released that is unlike it. And so I'm speaking the word for each of us to make the decision right here, right now, to set our intention, to live our best lives ever, and to do whatever it takes to stay on purpose, to act on purpose throughout this time. Throughout this time. I know for each of us that God goes before us, making straight our way in all ways and all things, guiding us, directing us, lifting us up, loving us, comforting us. Whatever may be going on, we know that God is in the midst of everything. I know that God is in the midst of everything, and that all indeed is well. I pause momentarily so that you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer this day. You may speak their names silently or loud, but you may speak them now. So for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that God is in the midst of every situation, every circumstance, everywhere. This word goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day. Speaking a word of peace for the Middle East, or any place that there is unrest, any place that there's war, any place that there's chaos, just knowing that the peace that is God itself is in the midst of everything. And everything is working together for good. Despite appearances, everything is working together for good, for God is in the midst. And this is the truth that I know. And so I just say thank you, Father, Mother God, for the word spoken here this day. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for the perfect manifestation of this word spoken here this day. I know indeed that all is well. I know for sure that all is God. Thank you, God. And so it is.
I'm sending out a message to myself so that when I hear it on the radio, I will know that I am lying. I will know that I am loved. I warned myself of the blackness in my chest. The razors in my heart would never rest. It's funny how you find just what you seek. Love is what you get. Well, love is what you speak. I'm sending out a message to myself so that when I hear it on the radio, I will know that I am fine. I will know that I am loved. I made every choice along the way. Each day I spent in hell, I chose to stay. It's funny what you fear can make you weak. Truth is what you get. When truth is what you speak, I'm sending out a message to myself so that when I hear it on the radio, I will know that I am fine. I will know that I am loved. So if you are listening, I am just passing through. You can take some for yourself, 'cause it works that way too. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. La-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. I will know that I am fine. I will know that I am loved. Oh, I'm sending out a message to myself so that when I hear it on the radio, I will know that I am fine. I will know that I am loved. Yeah, sending out a message to myself so that when I hear it on the radio, I will know that I am fine. I will know that I am loved. I am loved. I am loved.
Thank you, Kirsten. Welcome back. And thank you, Reverend Sherry, for that message. Thank you. And yes, it is the 1st of February. What happened to January? We blinked, I think. So this is our conscious giving time, the time when we participate in the divine law of giving and receiving by giving of our tithes and offerings. We invite you to join this sacred practice by tithing here at CLF. As you tithe to CLF, we tithe to local nonprofit organizations that are serving our communities and making a real difference in the lives of real people. Like our 2023 fourth quarter tithe recipient, Nourish Phoenix. Nourish Phoenix is a community hub that serves vulnerable individuals and families by offering resources and provides pathways to self-sufficiency. If you're online, you can click the donate button on our website or our Facebook page, or you may use your cell phone to text to give. The text to give phone number is on the screen, and that number is 844-941-4360. Again, that number is 844-941-4360. For our in-person giving, the usher will now make their way forward. Please join us in our offering song, I Trust in God. The lyrics are on the screen.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I am one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God.
Let us repeat our offering blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God, and so it is. Thank you, Nicole. And now, Nicole for announcements.
All right. I got too many things in my hands right now. Sorry. All right. So, announcements. We'll get through these pretty quick. A reminder that we offer midday meditations on Monday through Friday at noon on our Facebook and YouTube live streams. If you can't make it to meditate with us at noon, don't worry. They're always there. Join us whenever you can. The New Thought Book study started yesterday. So last Saturday. It's still accurate too. They are studying An Altar in the World, a geography of faith by Barbara Brown Taylor. In An Altar in the World, Taylor shows us how to discover altars everywhere. We go and everywhere we go and in nearly everything we do, as we learn to live with purpose, pray with intention, slow down, and revere the world we live in. Actually sounds like a perfect compliment for today's talk too, right? Sure, Altars in the World will be a way to help set your intention daily as well. You can find a link for the book on our website or in our weekly newsletter. Grab your copy and start reading, and then drop in Zoom on Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. After service, we have our practitioners available to pray with you. Also, we have a prayer box on the welcome table if you would like to fill out a written prayer request, or you can send an email to prayer@creativelivingfellowship.com. Just put prayer request in the subject line, and written requests get prayed over for 30 days. There's no fellowship today as there is a practitioner meeting, so join us next week. You can find information for all of our events and for our Black History Month recognition and anything else you want to know about us on our website. You can get our weekly newsletter or, follow us on Facebook or Instagram. That's it for announcements. You're back.
Thank you, Nicole. Let's take a breath together. Just a couple of reminders, of course, to use the treatment for supply and a prayer for our country that we really, really need. So I encourage you to please use that prayer for our country every day, or use your own prayer. I recommend the one that Ernest Holmes wrote in addition to your own prayer. And let there be peace on earth. The lyrics to that, we can just make it a part of our spiritual practice each and every day, and recognizing that peace does begin with each one of us, and then setting our intention to allow peace to begin with each one of us. That's how we have peace on earth. Continue to connect with each other in person, online, emails, text messages, however you connect. It's so important for us to continue to do that as a community. I think that's all I have. So why don't we stand and repeat our closing affirmation, and then we'll have the peace song after. Repeat after me, please. Today I set my intention to live the best life ever. And I stay focused so that I can follow my intention. and allow it to guide me. As a result, something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
As a result, something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
I know it,
I know
I
it.
sense it, I feel it, and I thank God for it.
Thank God for it.
Thank you, God. And so it is.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, Kirsten, for being here. We love you. We're glad to have you back. Thank you all. See you next week.